Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name. Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name so long. Take your name. Watch your words today. Mood is high, what you gonna say? Sunshine streaks all across my tracks. You never know who really got your back. Dark, but there's gold in there. Tell your friend I've been very scared, but learn your love like it's gonna die. You never know, it just might save your life. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. 'Cause who are you to say I can't be loved? For seeing pain and wanting change to come. I know you know what you've been taught to know. I'm doing the same, just on a different road. Doing the same, just on a different road. Takes all kinds just your mind when it's going down. It takes all kinds just to get around. So mama said, don't lose your mind when it's going down. Papa said, boy, hold your head up high. Listen more than you speak, and always ask them why. The wise old owl, he can see at night.
Station's ready for the event.
Wasn't a question. I just want to tell everyone, look at your hair.
Earth is flat. Now, I'm looking right out there at...
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this.
Earth is flat.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Do you hear me?
Earth is flat. Earth is flat.
What an amazing
Thinks Earth is flat and launch them into space.
And Galileo, you know the guy from Believe the Earth is Flat.
It wasn't a question. I just want to tell everyone.
to the flat earthers.
The Earth is flat.
Yep, that's absolutely true. I think our special effects are a little bit better up here, maybe, than in the movie Gravity.
The law of gravity is nonsense. No such law exists. If I think I float, and you think I float,
It kind of flattens out. Yeah.
Flat Earth in flat Earth in flat Earth in Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Flat Earth in Earth is flat.
is flat.
Earth is flat. Earth is flat. I'm not representing the globe. Believe me. I'm not representing the globe. I'm representing your country.
24 hours.
And there was much rejoicing.
So, we are the Mongol tables. The world is flat, isn't it? Yeah. Checks in the post. still have a chance with you. God is good and life is fair and heaven's waiting, so I'll meet you there. They'll call last orders down the kings and we won't fight. I'll walk you home and tuck you in at night, and we'll watch the dawn get mugged on Chapel Street, and we will raise a family. I'll be the apple of your parents' eyes. They'll raise a glass to us, and I won't drink the bottle dry. We'll wake each morning and we'll thank our lucky stars. There's no relationship as strong as ours. We'll share in half our problems, we'll talk our worries through. There'll be no little secrets that make their way to you. You'll find fulfillment and I won't play away, and we can only get stronger. Suspicions and you say you got proof that my commitment's flawed. I can't speak the truth, that I am lost and I am scared, and the lawyer's waiting, so I'll meet you there. And they'll call our number and we won't put up a fight. We'll split the pension and I swear I'll see you right. Where there was hate, well, please let there be calm before the storm that sets up. You know I love you till the day I die. I've got my reasons, please don't ask me why. We'll wake alone some nights and wish on falling stars that no one makes the same mistakes as ours. We'll never share our problems or talk our worries through, and all those little secrets will make their way back to you. You'll find fulfillment, I'll play and lose away, we won't raise that family.
Saying in this flat earth.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
Is Earth as seen from Saturn? Here's an image taken only 45,000 kilometers away. The famous blue.
Just go to the moon.
Penguin.
Is to a special interest, but we will serve the citizen.
Penguin. What it would take to fake a moon landing. Penguin.
But like, you know what? I'm a really big fan of your work, and you know, so boom.
Elvis.
Already, so I got that out of the way. Should I wind up with her again? Yeah, it's intimidating sometimes.
Like, you know what? I'm a really big fan of your work. You know what? I'm a really big fan of your work, and you.
But,
like, you know what? I'm a really big fan of your work, and you.
You know, it's a thrill.
Thanks for sticking around. I hope something that one of us said was informative or interesting. Both, maybe. Okay, did we get to everything? We're all good? No. I think we got all the good ones, right? No. Huh? I can't hear you. I don't have a song called Toast and what? Toast and Dose? Is that? Toast and Dose? Which show did you think you came to? Okay, well, got this far, you haven't figured it out yet.
Any of you ladies like stereo music?
I'd go to the moon again. I'd go to the moon.
We have to pass through this danger zone twice. Once up and once back.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond.
Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. Radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
I'd go to the
space.
What comes after the International Space Station, once its mission is over, comes after the International Space Sure, the presence of humans in space?
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
The technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit. So we have a really robust exploration program.
all of this attention.
No, I just don't deserve it. The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although there have been some reports of seeing planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible. The Earth is quite beautiful from space and from the moon. It looks quite small and quite remote, but it's very blue and covered with white lace and of the clouds, and the continents are clearly seen, although they have very little color from that distance.
When you were actually walking about on the moon's surface and kicking about a certain amount of dust, did you notice any local color? And also, were you at all subconsciously worried about the possibility of unsafe areas?
Well, the color is a puzzling phenomenon on the moon, aside from the characteristics that I've already mentioned.
What comes after the International Space Station once its mission is over?
You generally have the impression of being on a desert-like surface with rather light-colored hues. Yet
it was slow and weak, but it got its there. But it got its there.
breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. Because there lies
piece of fireworks. First, you were chosen to do that. That's special.
Yeah, I wasn't chosen to be first. I was just chosen to command that flight. Circumstance put me in that particular role. That wasn't planned by anyone.
You sometimes seem uncomfortable with your celebrity, that you'd rather not have all of this attention.
No, I just don't deserve it. Just don't deserve it. Just don't deserve it.
Because there lies capital. It attempts to impose its command across time zones, continents, oceans, and beyond.
Because there lies
The time is gone, the song is over. Thought I'd something more to say.
because there lies
We don't need a brother like him in this fraternity.
When are we going to stop doing this to each other?
The cat will be our taste tester.
You think taste testing
With some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I will assume complete responsibility. Release her immediately. I will apprehend this culprit within 24 hours.
You don't think that you're going to accept a chip in your brain that's going to let you see the future? Right. That's ridiculous. You're going to take it. You're going to get that operation. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
They're so stupid! I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore.
What a bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah, really. Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
The pressure difference between the inside of the plane and the outside.
Then you have a leak.
You are stupid. 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 And don't forget, you are
the Queen's dinner. She is royally upset.
It's coming, it's coming. Here, Queen Isabella. The chef was out of your favorite, chicken a la Queen, so I brought you stew instead. Well? Yuck! This needs spices. Major spices. But Your Highness, the spices are in the East Indies. It'll take an explorer years. Then find and explore to find a shortcut. And risk falling off the edge of the earth? Wait, I know of such an idiot. Who is this idiot? Man. Christopher Columbus, at your service, Queenie. The only man in the world who can find your precious spices. Are you serious? You'll fall off the edge of the earth. No problemo. See, I have this theory. The world isn't flat. It's round. Round? What's so funny? Nothing. Really? How soon can you go? No memento, Queenie. I said I could get your spices. I didn't say I would. What's in it for me? My eternal thanks? Please. Gold sovereigns? I guess the Queen likes her stew without spices. Wait! You can name the new land after yourself. And children for all time will get out of school on your birthday. You've got yourself a deal. And so, Christopher Columbus set sail for the New World. He chose 3 of the Queen's best ships. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Titanic. Alvin, Columbus didn't sail the Titanic. All right. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Brave Columbus led his crew.
Captain, I beg you, turn back. If we go any farther, we'll fall off the edge of the earth.
Don't be silly. Haven't you heard my theory? The earth is round.
Captain! Come quick!
What is it? The East Indies? A new world?
No, sir. Danger! Straight ahead! It's the edge of the earth! We're gonna fall off!
Alvin and the Chipmunks will return after these messages.
We now return to Alvin and the Chipmunks.
But it was no use. Over they went. Alvin, Clonjo, into the drink. Splashville, Alvin! Columbus did not fall off the edge of the earth. He proved it was round and discovered the new world. I know, but I was losing Theodore. I had to spice it up. Get it? Spice it up? Let me tell him what happened. Better put on your anti-boring helmet, Theodore. Now then, where were we? Columbus just fell off the earth. Oh yes, no. He was sailing across the Atlantic Ocean when suddenly he discovered
land ho!
Columbus Land? This not Columbus Land. This home of the braves.
Sorry, Chief. I've already had the Columbus Land t-shirts printed as gifts for all you Indians.
Indians?
Yeah, Indians. I've discovered the shortcut to the East Indies. So that makes you Indians.
Sorry, Chris. You missed East Indies by long shot.
Then where am I? Yeah, where is he? I thought he discovered America. Actually, Columbus landed in the Bahamas, just missing America. He didn't land in America until 2 years later. By that time, Americo Vespucci had beaten him there and named the country after himself, America. Tough break for Chris. Well, Alvin, Columbus was the first person to discover the New World and make global navigation possible. Gee, I hope I can remember all that. Well, just remember this little poem. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. What do you say we go on to the next lesson? The Pilgrims. What's a pilgrim? I'll tell him.
We're all unpaid actors in some giant script that we didn't write.
About the flat Earth.
It's always flat.
3. Researchers a flat disk.
The Earth is really flat. Come on, guys.
He's got the word is flat on his forehead.
Flat Earth.
Do you believe the Earth is flat?
Ooh.
You going in the pool table is the Earth. That's why it's green.
Oh, shit. See, your shit is coming out now.
And the world, they used to think it was flat.
Prove the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
Clearly it's flat.
Whether it's the Earth is flat, whether
Earth is flat.
2016. The Earth is flat. World being flat, right?
Basically flat.
It seems flat to me.
Neil, you suck. What does that mean? We got this flat, and the world is flat. The world is flat, and the world is flat. And if the world was flat, and here's why: the world is flat. And
Debate whether the Earth is flat. Whether the Earth is flat. Flat.
Center of the universe, many of those same people believe the Earth is flat, like a tortilla. They're called flat earthers, and they have conventions and talks and
firmly believes that the Earth is flat.
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is stick to the facts. The whole thing will fall when we give up the ball and prove that the Earth isn't moving at all.
When I was about 33 in the woods.
And then it falls down instead of getting away. But they didn't do the rest of the movie that way. If they had stayed with that one idea, and in a guy who's less than perfect, in other words, make it very rousing and exciting, but he screws up, you could have had a running gag there that would have built throughout the whole film and been very, very funny. They forgot their own script.
Here we go. What do you think people did before Alexa?
Alexa, turn the temperature down 2 degrees.
Alexei, tell us something interesting. Okay. The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
Alicia, remind me to delete those tapes.
Next. News! Get your news here!
Alex, what's today's news?
Doesn't matter. It's all fake.
Al, play that song I like.
Tell me a joke.
Again, we use that term nominal. That essentially just means that we're within the expected and appropriate range where we should be. So that all that means is that everything means that we're within the expected and appropriate range where we should be. So that all that means is that everything is going according to plan.
International Space Station switching from older nickel hydrogen batteries to new lithium ion ones.
because it looks that way.
U.S. human presence in low Earth orbit.
Because it looks that way.
This unique orbiting laboratory.
Right. We accomplished so much this year. What do you see for 2020?
Well, I would like to say that you're going to see more of the same.
Because it looks that way.
How astronauts measure items on station, a place where scales don't work.
Space is a huge benefit.
Because it looks that way.
Just a few degrees for now.
Because it looks that way.
Engines ignition, liftoff. Flying through the densest part of the atmosphere.
Because it looks that way.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant...
Because it looks that way. Because it looks that way.
Vehicle supersonic.
Which means that we're within the expected and appropriate range where we should be. So that... all that means is that everything is...
The Year of the Metal Rat.
Because it looks that way.
There you go. There's a pose for you right there.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
The kinds of technologies that we're testing going beyond low Earth orbit.
Operation beyond low Earth orbit.
Oh yeah, I can do that one.
Because it looks that way. The Earth is flat. So, but could I be wrong? Could I be misinterpreting the nature of my perceptions? We have misinterpreted our perceptions before. We used to think the Earth is flat. We used to think the Earth is flat. Think the Earth is flat in that desktop. We used to think that the Earth is flat because it looks that way. Then we thought that the Earth is the unmoving center of reality because it looks that way. That reality will end up turning out to be more fascinating and unexpected than we'd ever imagined because it looks that way.
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists. More must be done by the internet companies to counter threat, but the difficulty is to do this without sacrificing freedom and privacy. The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful. But I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
Maybe Flat Earth.
My name is Jim Lovell, I'm an astronaut man. On a lonely horse I ride around the earth in an old tin can with spaceman by my side. Before you know it, we'll be out on the moon, being all heroic, well that's just what we do. We were riding along when we heard a big bang. Houston gave a shout. They said, look out the wind, there will be an old tin can. You got oxygen spilling out. You got a couple of hours till you run out of gas and then you patch it up. What a pain in the ass, he said, Jimmy, gotta get us out of this. We know you're not prepared for this. You gotta do some rocket surgery. to recreate the atmosphere. But I am getting out of here tomorrow. Apollo 13. My name is Jim Lovell, I'm a regular guy. I don't ask for no special thanks. I'm just an ordinary hero in a certain light. I look a little like Tom Hanks. My co-pilot Jack Swigert sometimes gets mistaken for the Hollywood actor Kevin Bacon, but I think there's at least 6 degrees of separation. But anyways, there's this big old oxygen leak that wants to have us dead. And I was hired as a pilot, it's what I'm gonna do, but Houston wants something else instead. They say,
I am the cup where the bees of spring pour some liquid vapor over everything. Plug that hole where the big bugs fall.
listen up, Houston, I got news for you all. I did not sign up for this. I'm getting quite fed up with this. You got me doing rocket surgery to recreate the atmosphere, but I am getting out of here tomorrow. Apollo 13, Apollo 11, 8, 9, and 10 all went without a hitch. I didn't train for 40 years to be an astronaut just to end up someone's bitch. That's how we lost the moon. I did not sign up for this. Forgive me if I'm sounding pissed. They got me doing bucket surgery to recreate the atmosphere, but I am getting out of here tomorrow. Apollo 13.
Just another one of those flat earthers.
It's the early 1960s, and I'm looking at a globe of the Earth.
That was just crazy talk. Or a broken cookie. Well, researchers who look into this question our traditional story. Researchers suspect, and there is good evidence for, 13,000 years ago, there was a more advanced form of human civilization. 100 meters, 330 feet. Overlooked for thousands of years. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Doable. Let's do it. Do it. Do it.
World here at the world's most stylish dance competition. Good thing I'm style and designer frames from Eyeglass World, the world's best way to buy glasses. Eyeglass World's got hundreds of designer styles, so I can dazzle the judges. And they're hundreds less than I expected, so I can swing the price tag.
With 2 stylish pairs for hundreds less, Eyeglass World is the world's best way to buy glasses. Come get 2 pairs for $78.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat.
Ciao, Mr. World here, on the world's most stylish road trip. The views are superbo. Kind of like the designer styles that I could be the one to be your next best friend. Mr. World here, suited up as the world's
Fueled by Deathcast.
I've got a whole suite of science.
Do tego pytania, ale zapewniam pana, że jest płaska.
Generał Mirosław Hermaszewski, jak dotąd pierwszy i ostatni Polak, który
watch your words today. Moon is high, what you gonna say? Sunshine streaks all across my tracks. You never know who really got your back. Dark, but there's gold in there. Tell your friend I've been very scared, but learn your love like it's gonna die. You never know, it just might save your life. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. 'Cause who are you to say I can't be loved? for seeing pain and wanting change to come. I know you know what you've been taught to know. I'm doing the same, just on a different road. Doing the same, just on a different road. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. It takes all kinds just to get around. So mama said, don't lose your mind when it's going down. Papa said, boy, hold your head up high. Listen more than you speak, and always ask them why. The wise old owl, he can see at night. But boy, only you'll know when it's time to fight. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. It takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down. 'Cause who are you to say I can't be loved? For seeing pain and wanting change to come. I know you know what you've been taught to know. I'm doing the same, just on a different road. I'm doing the same on a different road. I'm doing the same on a different road. I'm just doing the same on a different road. It takes all kinds, mama said, don't lose your mind. Takes all kinds just to get around. Don't lose your mind when it's going down.
Birdie num num, 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 num num, num num, birdie num num, birdie num num.
What in the world is that?
Birdie num num, birdie num num.
I can't imagine.
Howdy, partner. Howdy, partner. Howdy, partner. Partner. Howdy, partner. Birdie num num.
They have all been photographed. According to some conspiracy theorists, the black left eye is part of a cult.
This is a common theme. I'm gonna start seeing in public. Another celebrity with a black left eye! Black left eye! So these elites stand in public without a care in the world. But it's Smitty with a black left eye! Black left eye! It's more than a coincidence. What's going on then? Why not the right eye? Why is it only the black left eye? Black left eye!
Seen sporting a black left eye are part of the Illuminati. So Elizabeth Hurley, Boy George and Robert Downey Jr. are among the A-listers who have been photographed with bruising in the eye area in recent years. The former US President George W. Bush, along with the Pope, I'd love to give him a black eye.
Why just the left eye? Was it a ritual? What was done to you and why? Why?
But was we've all become accustomed to them covering up the eye as a mark of homage to the fact that they worship Satan, or at the very least, they've sold their souls.
Mis sabios dicen que la tierra es plana.
You never even dreamed of.
This is not happening.
Chico.
¡Dale, dale! Se va la barca, se va el galeón. La tierra era redonda, como decía Colón. La 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 la
Vieron que era redonda nomás. ¡Redonda!
Hey man, you ever look into flat earth? Flat earth?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake.
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it.
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it.
What lies before us is the opportunity to forge a new world order. Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it. Hey man, you ever look into flat earth?
Fuck no. You guys are all crazy. I'm crazy because of that shit.
Hey man, you ever look into flat earth?
To this day. Every day. To this day. Every day.
Look into it.
They believe it. The narration is all programming. What's above us, and what we're on, we're being lied to, and everyone watches that. That's always been the plan.
Eddie!
Ladies and gentlemen,
The world is flat.
What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it.
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth. Flat Earth.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth theory. Flat experiments. Einstein said it himself.
Ridiculous!
Flat earth? Flat earth? Flat earth? Flat earth? Flat earth? Flat earth? Look into it. Flat earth? 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 Look into it.
Alien invasion. That's always been the plan. Alien invasion. A one-world government.
We were driving on the road and we saw something in the sky. Alien.
Alien invasion.
Alien.
Alien invasion. Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Flat earth? Flat earth?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it.
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Flat earth? Flat earth?
Once you go flat, you never go back.
Flat earth? Look into it.
no
capture the sound of silence.
Musty.
Something you'd like to have happen? You, there in the back. What's your name? Me? Musty. Now tell me, Musty, how would you like to be the next... the next Eckhart Tolle? Oh boy, would I!
Tune in to find out. Tune in to find out.
Meow 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 meow. I am just a kitten, hardly fit my mittens, much too small I figure. One day I'll be bigger. One day I'll be a great big kitty cat. Use open windows to go from flat to flat. Meow 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 meow. I am just a kitten, hardly fit my mittens, much too small I figure. One day I'll be bigger. One day I'll be all grown up and strong, but till then I'll just purr and sing along and go meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.
The flat, sun-baked Mojave Desert stretches for miles to the mountains. Beyond the mountains, the flat land stretches to the horizon. And beyond the horizon, according to Charles Johnson, the land continues to be flat. As a matter of fact, Charles Johnson believes the whole world is flat. 30 minutes from Lancaster, just off Highway 14 in a remote corner of the desert, Charles Johnson set up his Flat Earth headquarters about 10 years ago. It's from here he keeps in touch with the rest of the world. A round map of the flat Earth adorns the wall of the office where he and Mrs. Johnson, the only other staff member, spend endless hours spreading the gospel and the latest facts to fellow believers.
Our aim is to restore the world to sanity. The civilization is crumbling. It must come to pieces because we're based on a completely false premise. And I mean, Watergate, things like that are of no consequence, you know, compared to this. Moses is a flat earther, by the way. He's one of the earliest writers for the Flat Earth Society. George Washington was a flat earther.
He gets mail from, around the world, including some from institutions of higher learning.
Well, a PhD. Well, let's see, I'll have to answer his letter. He said he's so happy. He's always believed the Earth is flat, but he never knew where we were located. Well, thank goodness he's found us. We're living in the midst of a hoax of the space program, plus the hoax that the world has evolved to begin with. We estimate we have around 1,500 members, but all of them are not paid up. I'll tell you that. I was checking over one time. People asked me what kind of people belong to the Flat Earth Society. Well, I tell them it's thinking classes. But as professions now, medical doctors and lawyers are there, or judges. Our country is just loaded with flat earthers, but they're closet believers.
Mr. Johnson, how can you prove to me that the world is flat?
It's the simplest and the easiest. It's like every great idea. It's so elementary, it's so simple, is why you can't understand it. I kicked myself. I was only 18 when I learned how to prove it. I said, my God, how was I so stupid that I couldn't have thought of it to begin with?
Prove to me that the world is flat.
There's no curvature. There's not an inch. There's not any. It's flat. In reality, there's no way to fall off of the flat Earth. But if the world were a ball, of course, you would fall.
Mr. Johnson feels that falling off a ball is proof enough the Earth is flat. So I asked him about the celestial bodies which the eye and telescope can see are round.
We don't have to explain the stars. I mean, they're just little lights up there.
Like little light bulbs?
They could very well be up in the dome of heaven.
What about the other planets?
The Earth is not a planet. Earth is the center of the universe. I mean, this is the universe. This is all there is. It's just one world, one flat world.
Charles Johnson also believes, because airlines navigate with flat maps, that some of them endorse his theories.
We advise all our members and supporters to fly TWA all the way. They're officially Flat Earth. It's the Flat Earth airline. They use the Flat Earth map. They navigate by the Flat Earth map.
Mr. Johnson, probably the most beautiful picture I ever saw was of the round Earth taken from the moon. How do you explain those pictures?
It's the same world. It was made in the same place by movie studios. Actually, I think NBC and some of the movie studios make much better space photographs, you know, like Buck Rogers and all that sort of thing, as far as superior to the movies that NASA makes. They're actually rank amateurs.
Mr. Johnson says the space program is only the product of a movie studio. But from the front porch of his Flat Earth headquarters, he can see the space headquarters of Rockwell International.
And you want to talk about the magic of Hollywood? I'm going to show you some magic right now.
This is where America's first space shuttle, the Enterprise, was built. We asked Charles to come with us to look at it, but he refused, saying he wanted nothing to do with round earthers. We asked some of the engineers and scientists about their neighbor's philosophy.
There are parts of it that are very flat. I've been in Kansas, and that's flat.
This is a spacecraft. We call it a space shuttle, and it's an orbiter, and that's interesting. If it orbits, we think it orbits round, not, around the Earth, rather than just in circles.
It's not just going to Tacoma?
No, it's really going up.
And Mr. Johnson commented on the work of his neighbors.
There is no space program. It only exists on film.
I think he's crazy. I really think that the guy is just absolutely batty out of his tree.
We asked one of the technicians how they could prove to Mr. Johnson, if he were here, that the Earth wasn't flat.
Well, maybe you ought to sign up for the astronaut program or something. That would really be the only way to know.
But even if he were younger, Mr. Johnson says he would never join the astronaut program because he says it doesn't exist. He feels the wave of the future is not space, but his philosophy, and he insists that it will not die even after they have buried him in the flat Earth.
The Flat Earth Society, contrary to what people think is something old, we're the new, the modern, we're the avant-garde, we're the wave of the future.
Launch commit, liftoff. We have liftoff 49 minutes past the hour.
The new world is flat.
Can you believe it? Are you ready?
Richard Blade and Wally George back to back.
Well, I don't know if I'm ready, but I hope you are. Make sure you're watching KDOC Channel 56. It's going to be great.
We need you, folks. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. This is the final segment of our show. Before we get to our last guest, I want to invite you people here in Southern California to a very special event. On September 23rd, Tuesday night, September 23rd, I'm going to be appearing in concert at the world-famous Palomino Club in North Hollywood, and I'm going to be singing some of the songs from my new rock album. What do you think? I'm going to be there with my band, the Soundwaves, and Richard Blade is going to be there, and Rudy's going to be there. Rudy Grouse. So, and there's no age limit. Anybody can come, all ages. That's Tuesday, September 23rd, 9 p.m., but get there early, about 8 o'clock, at the Palomino Club in North Hollywood, Tuesday night, September 23rd. Be sure you be there, okay? All right, now our final guest. I can't believe this, but he's the head of the Flat Earth Society. He says the Earth is definitely flat. Here is my guest, Charles Johnson. Let's hear it for Charles. Now, Charles, you can't truly be serious and believe that this Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat is one of the few things that you can ever know for sure in life. It is the only sure thing. You know, they talk about death and taxes being sure, but the Earth being flat is much more sure than that.
But Charles,
I mean, you didn't give the rest of our name. It's the Flat Earth Research Society. We have research. We have learned.
But Charles, we have seen pictures of the round globe.
Are you serious, Wally? I mean, in other words, your proof is. I saw it on TV.
No, I've seen it from an airplane. It's round.
Oh, you got it from an airplane.
But Charles, are you saying everybody else is wrong and you people are the only ones who are right?
Absolutely. But don't get excited. The average person over 40 or 50 years old knows that the Earth is flat.
But Charles, if the Earth was flat, you'd go driving along, or you'd be in a boat going, and you'd reach the end, and you'd fall off the Earth.
You've got backwards. If the world were a globe, a ball, and if you tried to get to Australia, you'd go over the edge. Any direction you went, you'd go over the edge. Only a globe has an edge. Obviously and logically, a flat Earth would not have an edge. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any water on it.
But if the Earth is flat, there has to be a fall off somewhere.
No, the Earth has no edge.
But then how can it be flat?
According to Moses, who's the original writer for the Flat Earth Society, the world doesn't have a shape. It is just water. Water laying flat. Endless. The world without end.
Flat.
Right, all water lays flat. I mean, that's the nature of water, to lay flat.
Charles,
how does water lay?
Charles, I think the only thing flat here is your head.
Have you ever seen any of that water?
Charles, are you disputing? Charles, are you disputing our astronauts who have seen our beautiful round globe from outer space?
Carnies. Not a word of truth. No one's been to the moon.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you say nobody has been to the moon?
No one has been to the moon.
Wait. Hold on. Are you saying that our trip to the moon was all phony?
Phony. Totally. Completely phony. And the reason, in all these years that this insane hoax has been taught, it come from Greece 2,500 years ago. It's called the Grease ball religion, claiming the world is a ball. No proof had ever been found for this insane belief.
What proof do you have that the Earth is flat?
Let me get to who started the space program. Nick Khrushchev in Russia. The atheist communist, since they could find no proof, and he wanted to do away. The Bible is a flat earth book. Jesus Christ ascended straight up.
Jesus never said the earth was flat.
Oh, yes, he ascended up and down. Heaven is above the earth. In fact, and the only part of the Bible that's claimed, written by God himself, is the Ten Commandments. And within those commandments, you'll find in Exodus 24, it states the earth is flat. It states you shall not make a graven image in from heaven above or earth beneath, or the water underneath the earth. In other words, that says the world is flat. See, the whole point of the whole hoax is to do away with Christianity, to do away with sanity.
But Charles, our time is gone. All I can say is, Charles, you got a little studying to do. The earth is round. I'll be right back. Good night, everybody.
Then are you taking these precautions? These are warnings offered by scientists for our own good. And it seems to me if we all freak out, right, live in a life lived in fear is a life lived. So maybe the coronavirus will just blow on by. And then we kicked its ass. So you don't want to, I'm just...
I hope we win. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's Johnny Apples. The headphones. What a big mistake in the first Johnny Apples, the headphones. What a big mistake in the first like the Towns and the twins and all the astronauts allegedly are. Yeah, you know, it's Johnny Apples, the headphones. We walk alone in film to Hollywood, see the tops, taking advantage of the reckless lives. I've had enough. Yeah, I've had enough.
We're trying to move toward the future.
Sometimes I'm discouraged by the shills and the haters, but then I see plainly daily numbers growing greater as the labor of a few can change the views of millions. See deception undone, the sun's crepuscular brilliance. The killing everywhere clouds my sunny disposition. If we don't change ourselves, we're never gonna change the system. A vision of compassion seen in my homie Eric's work showed me every single life in this world has worth and deserves to be respected unless it tries to deprive the life or the rights of others like you and I. Try to break the mold they sold you into in your youth and see not a single curve of proof, emotion to boot. Truth doesn't change, though the lies so often do. Facts speak speak for themselves. The earth doesn't fucking move. Accruing numbers by the second. We're gonna take this world back, because despite all the lies, we can see the earth's flat. Smoking New Bay, burning through another globe. Reawaken God consciousness, they wanna leave broke. We are all part of creation, that's a self-apparent fact. Even if they finally shut us down, the world is still flat. They can lock me up in chains, they can blow my fucking brains, they can leave my work in flames, but the truth will never change. They can block a million videos, they can make up the stats, they can purge the whole internet, the earth is still flat.
Earth is a level, motionless plane with the sun, moon, and stars revolving over and around us, just as you experience every day. You are not living on a tilting, wobbling, spinning sphere pair with bendy oceans and upside-down people in Australia. You cannot dig a hole to China and find more sky below you. Water cannot curve around and cling to a ball, no matter how many times you say gravity grabs it. You know, gravity. It just grabs everything and sticks it to the globe.
It's Smoking New Bay, burning through another globe. Reawaken God consciousness, they wanna leave broke. We are all part of creation, that's a self-apparent fact. Even if they finally shut us down, the world is still flat. They can lock me up in chains, they can blow my fucking brains, they can leave my work in flames, but the truth will never change. They can block a million videos, they can make up the stats, they can purge the whole internet, the earth is still flat. It's Smoking New Bay, burning through another globe. Reawaken God consciousness, they wanna leave broke. We are all part of creation, that's a self-apparent fact. Even if they finally shut us down, the world is still flat. They can lock me up in chains, they can blow my fucking brains, they can leave my work in flames, but the truth will never change. They can block a million videos, they can make up the stats, they can purge the whole internet, the earth is still flat.
Choose what you're watching and you don't
are you ready for the event?
Houston, station's ready for the event.
It's a really interesting place to work up here. We are busy, there are experiments, the view out the window is unbelievable, but it's not the same as being on Earth. And I think for me, I don't know what the other crew members think as being on Earth. In the acting profession. I have tried to always know my lines in the acting profession.
I'm in grade 6. I just want to know who or what inspired you to be an astronaut.
That's a good question. How can you become an astronaut? Really, how can you become anything? You know, how are you going to grow up to be an airline pilot like my dad? Or whoever, you know, how are you going to grow up to be anything? Part of it, number one, is decide what you might want to be. Think about it. What might I want to be? Because it should be something that's really exciting to you, something that you really want to do. And then start turning yourself into that person. You can start to turn yourself into an astronaut today. And it doesn't happen just like that. You can ask Jeremy Hansen. It takes a lot of years. But every single decision you make turns you a little bit into the person you're going to be tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. And so if you want to be an astronaut, you need to keep your body in shape. So you need to think about, you know, not letting yourself get fat. Think about what you eat and exercise. You need to learn things. So you have to choose what courses to take and how you're going to study and what you're going to watch on TV. And you need to learn how to work. And so you might think about working around the house, or maybe doing a summer job, or delivering newspapers or something. And then later on, how, you know, are you going to go to school? What job are you going to get? And day by day, it doesn't just choose to be an astronaut. You have to turn yourself into who you want to be. And so what I'd recommend is just start thinking about it, and then realize that the decisions you make every day turn you into who you're going to be tomorrow. And I don't know if I'm the most successful Canadian astronaut. I'm the one who's in space for right now. But the things that I'm doing now, they're because I started working at it when I was your age. Before I was even 10 years old, I decided to be an astronaut. And I started working at it and studying and thinking about it and making my body ready for it. And I've been studying my whole life and training and really thinking about what I want to do with my life and then working towards it. And now, as a result, now I'm old, I'm 53, but now here I am having a chance to live and work and play guitar on board a spaceship and actually command a spaceship. So I think if there's anything that would make me a successful astronaut, it's because of pursuing my dreams and years of hard work. I only got here because, number one, I decided to. That's what I decided to do with my life. And then number two, I worked at it for my whole life. To think about that. What are you going to do with your life? You're going to grow up to be something.
Okay, Chris, that's going to be our last question. I think your break is over. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. I know you got a lot to do today. A lot to do today.
It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. I know you got a lot to do today.
You've poised that perfectly as an actor.
You know why I wanna get back soon.
In the acting profession. I have tried to always know my lines in the acting profession. I spent almost my entire adult life making sure that I knew my lines.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes the event.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, station's ready for the event.
It's a really interesting place to work up here. We are busy. There are experiments. The view out the window is unbelievable. But it's not the same as being on Earth. And I think for me, I don't know what the other crew members think as being on Earth. in the acting profession. I have tried to always know my lines in the acting profession.
Grade 6. I just want to know who or what inspired you to be an astronaut.
That's a good question. How can you become an astronaut? Really, how can you become anything? You know, how are you going to grow up to be an airline pilot like my dad? Or whoever, you know, how are you going to grow up to be anything? Part of it, number one, is decide what you might want to be. Think about it. What might I want to be? Because it should be something that's really exciting to you, something that you really want to do. And then start turning yourself into that person. You can start to turn yourself into an astronaut today. And it doesn't happen just like that. You can ask Jeremy Hansen. It takes a lot of years. But every single decision you make turns you a little bit into the person you're going to be tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. And so if you want to be an astronaut, you need to keep your body in shape. So you need to think about, you know, not letting yourself get fat. Think about what you eat and exercise. You need to learn things. So you have to choose what courses to take and how you're going to study and what you're going to watch on TV. And you need to learn how to work. And so you might think about working around the house, or maybe doing a summer job, or delivering newspapers or something. And then later on, how, you know, are you going to go to school? What job are you going to get? And day by day, it doesn't just choose to be an astronaut. You have to turn yourself into who you want to be. And so what I'd recommend is just start thinking about it, and then realize that the decisions you make every day turn you into who you're going to be tomorrow. And I don't know if I'm the most successful Canadian astronaut. I'm the one who's in space for right now. But the things that I'm doing now, they're because I started working at it when I was your age. Before I was even 10 years old, I decided studying and thinking about it and making my body ready for it. And I've been studying my whole life and training and really thinking about what I want to do with my life and then working towards it. And now, as a result, now I'm old. I'm 53, but now here I am having a chance to live and work and play guitar on board a spaceship and actually command a spaceship. So I think if there's anything that would make me a successful astronaut, it's because of pursuing my dreams and years of hard work. I only got here because, number one, I decided to. That's what I decided to do with my life. And then number two, I worked at it for my whole life. To think about that. What are you going to do with your life? You're going to grow up to be something.
Okay, Chris, that's going to be our last question. I think your break is over. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. I know you got a lot to do today. A lot to do today.
It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. It's time for you to get back to work. I know you got a lot to do today. I know you got a lot to do today.
You've poised that perfectly as an actor.
You know why I wanna get back soon.
In the acting profession. I have tried to always know my lines in the acting profession. I spent almost my entire adult life making sure that I knew my lines.
shirt.
What is that?
You know what this is?
No, I don't know.
This is the internet.
I don't give a shit.
Can we talk about you now?
God, he looks like Jessica Simpson. No.
Please?
No.
Nothing.
No favor for you.
Do me a favor.
No picture.
A 6 versus 6 battle dome. We have
War attempted. Billions of dollars over the heads of millions.
So don't delay, act now.
Force wins.
The earth flat. It's flat.
Call me a flat earther. Stuff.
Let me out!
What you're seeing here. For why light a big secret?
Fly on, you spacemen, fly on.
There are no other worlds. The stars, lights shining through from heaven.
They are able to observe phenomena.
No, they can't observe.
It's too far away. It's too theoretical.
Flat, right? Of course it's flat. Sure, I know the world is flat.
Well, so do I. Everybody knows that.
Good.
Don't talk about it if you don't leave it alone.
How do we know what they're saying
Barron
is
was a
true?
safety inspector during Apollo 1's construction.
It's all science.
Space program. NASSholes, I call them.
Shut, Brian. And don't talk about NASA at all.
Our oxygen tank is being preempted? Oh, not really. Our water tank and oxygen tank, they're not ready yet.
To be discovered. That's how it looks to you now.
Science and science fiction are essentially the same. Thank you very much.
Want to join NASA on a historic mission of discovery?
Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Sie mein Befehl zu widersetzen! Supplies are running out. Take my sound.
The first ever spacecraft to the sun, NASA's Parker Solar Probe.
Oh! Well, what do you call this then?
Mom! Dad! It's evil! Don't touch it!
Today, start working
on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
Headed back down south, gonna see my daddy's mistress, gonna buy back her forgiveness, gonna pay off every witness. One more time down south, sell the family headstones, drag a bag of dry bones, make good on my back loans. So if I come to your door, let me sleep on your floor. I'll give you all I have and a little more. Sleep lay down south, look up my former mentors and a little more. See you tomorrow.
Hey, come on, smile.
Silent thunder, sky is black as day. Only a dream away. Waking while you're still deep sleeping, finding you're not here. Watching a dream appear. Tumbling through 1,000 centuries, you don't know where you land. It's so dark in mythology. Treasures of history to be found in the legends of time. All the handiworks remain. My only dream of